Alright guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. Before we get into it, I want to make sure that I'm giving you this announcement. We're going to be doing a full-on holiday sale for a limited time, 50% off all of my programs and my courses from my mentorship course. So make sure you take advantage of it. Click the link in the description to find out more details. Happy holidays. Now let's get into the video.
All right, what's going on guys? So I got a question lately on how I can actually increase muscle building or bodybuilding in a way, hypertrophy, muscle hypertrophy for the sport of MMA. Now again, I think I've hit this on in the past, but I'm gonna go over it a little bit more into detail and give you basically an overall view of how you can increase your muscle mass that is going to help you and benefit you inside of the sport of MMA. Now, when you're talking about MMA, you need to work the posterior chain. So the hamstrings, the glutes, the back in general, all that needs to be brought up and strengthened so that you can produce force and overall have the ability to stabilize your body so that you can move and redirect force as well. Okay, you also want to make sure that you have a tight midsection, so your trunk has to be able to do work. So again, working on the muscles of the obliques, transverse abdominals, things like that for rotational strength is going to be important. Then also you want to make sure that you're also working your shoulders. Again, because of the fact that you're going to be throwing punches, you're going to be throwing kicks, that's going to be important. So you want to work your shoulders, you want to work your hip flexors, you want to work those muscles there that are going to stimulate power output and force production, but also make sure that you have endurance in those strikes. So the major thing that I like to utilize, the protocol that I use is called a tempo method. And the tempo method, we're going to be working through specific movements, a push variation, a pull variation, and we're also going to do a squat and a hinge variation. Again, the major movements that you would do for each position, for each muscle group to help enhance hypertrophy, but also have high correlation over to the sport of MMA. So for a simple protocol that I'm using today, right, you're going to do a 60-second total work set. That means time under tension. If you're trying to build muscle, you need to have mechanical load, you need to have muscle damage, and you need to have some metabolic stress. So we're gonna be able to do that with this tempo method here. So for the lower, I use a front squat variation. Okay, the front squat is gonna help with the upper back, it's gonna help with the muscles of the quads, all right? You're gonna do 3 sets total. You're gonna do 10 to 12 repetitions, staying in the hypertrophy range, and you're gonna keep a steady tempo throughout the entire movement. So if you're talking about 3-0-3 tempo, that means 3 seconds down, 0 seconds at the bottom, 3 seconds up, and you're gonna keep that steady tempo throughout the entire time of the set, right? Same thing goes for the push variation or the press variation. You can do something like a military press, an incline bench press, a dumbbell floor press, whatever is gonna help you understand how to get stronger, but also increase the movement and get the hypertrophy in the working muscle. So again, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Make sure you're staying with that tempo of 3-0-3 or 2-0 or 2-0-2, making sure the eccentric and the concentric is the same. Now, this isn't for explosive power. Remember, we're talking about building muscle, so you have to keep the tension constant, all right? Same thing goes for pull-ups, chin-ups, and rows. That's gonna help with the posterior chain. That's gonna help with the back muscles. We're gonna do the same concept there, 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions, keeping that steady tempo. Again, this is just the tempo method. There's plenty other methods that you could utilize, but this is what we typically do on an off camp when we're trying to get the athletes back up into a working weight so that once they start camp, they have a structural balance and integrity there so that when they're training a lot, they're not gonna lose as much muscle mass with that calorie deficit that they're gonna have to do once they start to cut weight. All right, hope that makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, you know what to do, hit the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification, make sure if you like this video, click that like button for me, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.